Has made its first trip back to Gaza after a decade in exile. The Fatah movement, which leads the government, was driven out of the Strip in 2007 after a lost election and civil war with rival Hamas. Palestinian Prime Minister Rami Hamdallah was welcomed by large crowds and celebrations in Gaza City on Monday. Hamas shut down its self-declared government in Gaza last month to pave the way for the reconciliation. Both groups are trying to reactivate a unity government to rule both Gaza and the West Bank. Hamdallah says it's crucial for the Middle East peace process.
We came with instructions and supervision from President Mahmoud Abbas to announce to the world from the heart of Gaza that the Palestinian state cannot exist, nor can it be established without geographic and political unity between the West Bank and the Gaza Strip. Let us close together the chapter of division with all its details and consequences.
Well, Hamas and Fatah have tried and failed to reconcile frequently over the past 10 years. Peacemaking efforts have never made it this far. Saudi Arabia was the first to try and broker peace between Hamas and Fatah, but the Mecca deal signed in 2007 fell apart almost immediately. A year later, Yemen gave it a go. The two sides signed a deal to revive direct talks, but they never followed through. The Cairo deal signed in 2011 was hailed as a landmark agreement, but it didn't last very long either. And the Doha deal signed in 2012, 5 years after the conflict started, also failed to stick. Many failed because of alleged pressure from the US, Israel and other regional governments. The most recent deal was signed at Beach refugee camp in Gaza 3 years ago without any Arab mediation. It also fell apart after 2 years of trying to implement it.
Welcome to the Palestinian Corner from Montreal, and this is our 61st episode devoted to Palestinian Prime Minister Rami Hamdallah. Rami Hamdallah is the current Prime Minister of the Palestinian Authority and the president of Najah University in Nablus. He is a member of Fatah, or used to be, although he is distanced himself from the front and is considered an independent. For bureaucratic entanglement of the Palestinian political system, Hamdallah rendered his resignation after 6 weeks. Then President Abbas asked Hamdallah to form a new government on September 2013. Then again, he was appointed the head of the Palestinian government in 2014. Rami Hamdallah was born in Anabta of Tul Karim in the northern Palestine on the 10th of August 1958. He graduated from the University of Jordan in 1980 and received his MA from the University of Manchester in 1982. Hamdallah completed a PhD in linguistics at Lancaster University in 1988. He is known as a professor at Najah University in Nablus in the West Bank, where he was hired in 1982 as English instructor. Later in 1998, he was appointed the president of the university. One of his greatest achievements, in my opinion, is his trip to Gaza lately, with his government of 100-strong delegations of ministers and officials to replace Hamas shadow administration committee after an Egyptian reconciliation meeting between Fatah and Hamas to rescue the Strip from its deteriorating situation. his administration assumed political and administrative responsibility right away for the Gaza Strip at arrival. Greeted by a visibly excited crowd upon his arrival, Hamdallah described the current situation in Gaza as intolerable, referring to an acute power crisis that has compounded a decade-long Israeli-Egyptian blockades, problems among the Palestinians, etc. The government's success will depend on its ability to make an impact on the ground and in the field, and its ability to have a positive impact on the lives of citizens, he said, mounting hope this time that the ongoing Egypt-sponsored reconciliation process will be more successful, hopefully. It seems like it. Gaza has suffered acute shortage of electricity, water, and medical supplies under Hamas. With Hamdallah return to Gaza, he said at his welcome ceremony, his unity government will begin assuming control of Gaza's administrative affairs, as well as security responsibility and responsibility for crossing and borders, which is a major problem in Gaza. Under a previous understanding, some 3,000 Fatah security men would be integrated gradually into Gaza police force, overseen by an interior minister headed by Hamdallah himself. To begin with, we returned to Gaza in order to conclude reconciliations and national unity and end the painful impact of divisions and to rebuild Gaza brick by brick, said Hamdallah. Abbas told Egyptian TV stations, the CBC, in an interview that everything must be in the hands of the Palestinian Authority. It must be the one to control the crossing points in and out of Gaza, he said, adding that there could be only one regime setting laws and enforcing them. Nikolai Meklenov, the UN Special Coordinator for the Middle East process, wrote on Twitter, "The road ahead will be long and hard, but momentum of reconciliations and peace should not be missed." Michael Oren, Deputy Minister for Diplomacy in Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's cabinet, said a key issue for Israel was whether Hamas would retain its weapons. If it does, then it is a non-starter for Israel, he said. We have to see a solution for that. The U.S. was watching development closely with the aim of improving humanitarian conditions in Gaza. Jason Greenblatt, U.S. President Donald Trump's Middle East envoy, said on Twitter, but insisted that a new administration must abandon violence. The United States stresses that any Palestinian government must unambiguously and explicitly commit to non-violence recognition of the State of Israel, accepting the previous agreements and obligations between the parties and peaceful negotiations. Things are improving in Gaza. Thank God and thanks to you for listening. رامي الحمدالله هو رئيس الوزراء في السلطة الوطنية الفلسطينية ورئيس جامعة النجاح في نابلس، أكاديمي فلسطيني. تم تكليفه في 3 حزيران 2013 بتشكيل حكومة فلسطينية جديدة خلفا لسلام فياض إذا تتذكروا، وكلف مرة أخرى في 29 أيار 2014 بتشكيل حكومة الوفاق الوطني الفلسطيني بعد لخبطة شوية في السلطة وفتح وغيره. ولد عام 58 في بلدة عنبتة بمحافظة القرم، ويعمل رئيسا لجامعة النجاح الوطنية منذ عام 98، ويحمل شهادة في اللغوات التطبيقية من بريطانيا، وهو عضو في فتح وإن كان يعتبر بين المراقبين أنه مستقل. عمل حمدالله أستاذا في جامعة النجاح حيث كان يدرس اللغة الإنجليزية قبل أن يصبح رئيس الجامعة في عام 98. وقد شغل منصب الأمين العام للجنة الانتخابات المركزية الفلسطينية من 2002، وفي 2014 التقى وفد فتح وحماس في مخيم الشاطئ، واللي عرف لاحقا باتفاق الشاطئ ضمن محاولات عديدة مع حماس للمصالحة وإنهاء الإقصاء. طلعوا روحنا في الموضوع بعد الانقسام الفلسطيني عام 2007. من بين نقاط الاتفاق كان تشكيل حكومة وطنية حيث كلف بها رسميا الحمدلله في 29 مايو، وأعلن عن تشكيل رسمي في 2 حزيران 2014 حيث ضمت 17 وزير، لكن بعد انتظارا طويلا ومعاناة من قبل أهل غزة وشحة المياه والكهرباء ومجالات العمل وإغلاق المعابر والسفر الذي أهلك القطاع وأهله اقتصاديا وماليا، وتركوا لتجارة الأنفاق والتهريب وعدم الاستقرار تحت حكم حماس والمسلحين. وصل رئيس الحكومة الفلسطينية رامي الحمدلله مع 50 من وزراء إلى غزة لزيارة لقطاع استمرت 3 أيام في الأسبوع الأول من أكتوبر 2017 لسه من أسبوع، حيث تسلمت حكومته في خلال مهامها بشكل رسمي لتشرف على إدارة القطاع والمعابر ووضع حد لحالة التسلح والفلتان الأمني في القطاع لحل وإيجاد حل للقضية الفلسطينية. ورافق هذا التوجه ممثلين عن الحكومة إلى القاهرة لحضور مؤتمر إعادة الإعمار الذي سيعقد بعد أسبوع من رحلة حمدلله بمشاركة نحو 30 وزير خارجية بالإضافة إلى أكثر من 50 وفد من دول مختلفة، كل العيون غزة بعد رجوعها إلى السلطة. من جهتها أعلنت حركة حماس في بيان لها يوم الخميس يعني بنفس الفترة أن قطاع غزة بات الآن تحت إدارة حكومة التوافق وستتعامل بإيجابية تامة ومرونة كاملة لإنجاحه إن شاء الله. وكانت حماس الحركة التي استولت على إدارة القطاع بالقوة والسلاح كأن في العصر الجاهلي، أعلنت مؤخرا حل لجنتها الإدارية في قطاع غزة، الأمر الذي مهد طريق لقدوم حكومة التوافق الفلسطينية إلى غزة واستلام مهامها في إطار اتفاق المصالحة المعلن عام 2011 برعاية مصرية. تنازلت سلميا. نريد أن نقلب الصفحة ونبدأ فترة جديدة للاهتمام بشعبنا وأحواله وأموره وحل قضيتنا سياسيا وأمنيا جذريا. لا شك أن للدكتور رامي حمدالله وفلسفته في الحكم وهدوءه دورا مهما وإيجابيا، وعسى أن نرى أمثاله من إداريين ومهنيين وملمين باللغة والثقافة الإنجليزية يتبوؤون مناصب قيادية في السلطة وفي مسيرتنا الفلسطينية. شكرا على الاستماع.